And with that, welcome to another attempt of doing the fanfic reading evening. My name is WoosReads and I'll be your host today. Okay, let me bump up my audio a bit. Okay. Yeah. Yesterday I had to stop abruptly because reasons. So yeah, didn't work out that well. We didn't come that far. But I'm back here today and I'll try it again. I'll try to go for an hour today because I don't want to stay up that long. It's close to midnight here and I have a late shift tomorrow, but I don't. I still want to get some sleep, you know, and want to get some stuff done tomorrow morning, you know. Okay, I'll start the music again. Hopefully none of this gets claimed, because the latest VOD has been muted. Okay, I'll try to find the point where we left off yesterday. Okay, yeah. Let me... Okay, yeah, there we go. We left off around here somewhere. It is only logical for the minds that they are not constantly distracted by the many events, even events they try to keep up with, to find other methods of solving intricate issues those other minds try to tirelessly solve at the same time. Without that clear answer listening to work. Wow, what a sentence to start off to, huh? Marstein felt silent until he said, "You frighten me so." Aptly put. "Oh, stop it. You're clearly messing with me with all that wordy talk," the sane brother said. The insane brother nodded. All right, we do have the reserves at ready. I will immediately get into contact with them and hope they'll be willing to join the fray as soon as possible." Cross your fingers they do. The hands nodded to each other and went their separate ways in the big building. Chris's room. Morning sunlight was not really any different than the real world's. Nowhere the sound of chirping birds waking the sleeping duo. Having sharper senses even while a little drowsy, Lucario quickly pulled himself away from the yawning Chris to avoid suspicion. The teenager stopped yawning and shuffled the bed sheets a bit until he was awake enough to tell anything around his surroundings without raising his head yet. Yes, this was not his room, his bed, or his house. It was a fantastic dream, very much real. "Good morning," said Lucario, spotted leaning where he was last time Chris was awake. "Good morning," Chris said, yawning again. Oh god, it wasn't a dream. The fact we had adventures, or the fact you were dreaming something else? "The first one," he sat next to Lucario and subconsciously scratched his guardian's head. Lucario did not mind it any. "It's gonna be our first proper day in this new place. Too bad it's supposedly all empty, with just the two of us, the hands and—" "Oh, Pichu," he recalled. "Why do I keep forgetting about Pichu?" "Too many problems stressing our heads," Lucario pointed out. "You can focus on them today." "Yes, and I'll get to meet someone new," Chris said, mildly excited at the prospect of meeting a new character. "This is actually exciting, Lucario. You'll finally get to talk to someone like you." "I wish it had been a Hitmonlee instead." Lucario got chopped to the head. He was only hurt emotionally. "What?" "Stop being stereotypical and let's take a shower to go meet that Peach already," Chris scolded, getting up from the bed and ready to take a shower to appear formal to the little rodent. Just as he was about to enter the bathroom, several knocking sounds came from the door, stopping him in his tracks. Lucario got up from the floor and went to the door. "Who is it?" Lucario asked. "Golly gosh, this Chris guy sounds intimidating," whispered a boyish voice. "Better put up the tough looks so he doesn't take advantage of us." "Have us at the ready," whispered back a girlish voice. Curious to see the people on the other side, rather than peeking using his aura, Lucario opened the door and stared forward at nothing. Then he looked down and caught a glimpse of two children, gulping at the sight of the beast staring them down. Eep! They both squealed in horror, just looking at those glaring crimson eyes, and at murderous chest spike for killer hugs, because why else would he need a spike there? The wrist spikes were just slightly less terrifying than the chest spike, but whatever the case, they got scared and backed off, with the mallet shaking with their gloved hands. Oh hey damn, that's File Select from Mario 64. That song I'm currently having in my playlist, I barely have played it on stream. I had to switch it up a bit because apparently something got claimed from the last one that got my VOD muted. This is nice, hopefully this doesn't get claimed. The two children were clad in puffy looking parkas, one who was a boy wearing blue and the other who was a girl wearing pink. Aside from the color of their parkas, the only distinctive visual difference between both were their combed hairstyles slicking out from above their foreheads. The boy's hair was combed in bumps, while the girl's hair was curved and smooth. Though they were knee-high compared to Lucario, they were both adept fighters all the same despite their age. Sorry Chris, sir, we'll just leave you alone to sulk alone, the girl spoke. I mean, not sulk alone, I mean just alone. You're not helping things here, the boy hissed. He laughed at Lucario. Just wanted to drop by and greet you. Hello there. Now you will take your leave. Lucario was not a fluent person in being social with other people yet. His only response was narrowing his eyes and causing the children to gulp loudly at what he was going to do right there. Wait! The real Chris squeezed between Lucario's right arm at the frame to the door to see who they were. The children were stated there was even a second person in the room. Please don't be scared, he won't do anything to you. He just now realized he was talking to the two children who he knew from playing games, Popo and Nana, the ice climbers. Mr. Chris won't hurt us? Nana asked, her face sweating only out of fear, not because of the warm season. No, I won't hurt you. The Chris lowered the hammers to the side and stared up at him, then gave Lucario a quick look. Wait, you are Chris? Popo asked. Yes, that's my name. Then who is this guy? He asked while pointing a shaking head at Lucario's narrowed gaze. Pardon me. He's my Pokemon partner, Lucario here, Chris said. Sorry if he scared you. He really can't help looking intimidating. Lucario, make sure you don't scare them with those looks of yours, okay? Lucario gave a small grunt and looked away. They looked at me at the wrong time, but it won't happen again, he said. I highly doubt that, his trainer muttered. Oh. Nana's fear went away now that they could just talk to the much less intimidating guest. You're Chris then. You must be the new deal in this tiny thing. Wait, she eyed Lucario and immediately averted his gaze. You're saying he's a Pokemon, but the room is in your name. Ah, I got it, Popo piped up. You must be one of those Pokemon trainers we heard about from Pikachu and the others. It was about time we got one of your kite into the fights. Nana rolled eyes. Popo at best, he'll be background material issuing orders without pulling punches himself, she said. Oh, how Chris wished that could be the case. Popo then playfully swung his hammer back a few times. I spot a weakness when I see it. I'm knocking him down in most fights. Lucario narrowly growled loudly at the child and make him back off in fear. Behind Nana, who gulped hard and backed off as well. Yikes, I mean, no, I'll stop Nana from doing that to him. Get her. Popo, you dimwit, that was never my idea, she complained. Stop! Chris raised his voice at all of them. Lucario stopped growling and looked away in disgust. Okay, please, first and foremost, no talk about beating each other. Yesterday was a big day for us. I kinda wanna rest easy. Can you please not talk about fights between each other? The ice climbers blinked at him, then scrambled around for words to say. Yeah, we can do that, Nana said. Sorry, we got kinda excited to meet in a new deal, and we're not even that gung-ho into fighting people all the time. Please forget about that first impression we gave you, she dope-slapped Popo. Popo, apologize. Oh, fine, I apologize. Sorry for that, Popo cringed. Apology accepted, Chris said. Even though he knew who they were, they wanted to play safe. Moreover, he wanted to get to know them, as they were his favorite characters to play as in the actual game, that they should not know about. Who are you anyways? He asked. Chris is an ice climber's main? Okay. The ice climbers, both climbers said, striking a pose that usually had Popo on the front rather than Nana herself. They didn't notice how off it felt and swapped spots to correct themselves. I'm Popo, Popo said. And I'm Nana, Nana said. You'll never find the same kind of fight anywhere else in this mansion. That's to say, we're so unique, everyone else to fend off for themselves, she shook her head. That wasn't meant to offend you, of course. It's fine, really, Chris said before the twins broke from the pose. Well, I'm Chris, but you already knew that. Sorry, I'm kinda tired. This guy right here, Lucario item, making him gulp, is more ever dutiful Lucario. He's also another fighter. Crap, the twins thought, just imagining the premature death at the hands spikes of that fighter. Sweet, Popo lied. Not like we had enough people like Mewtwo to frighten us. Ow, Nana slapped him. What he's trying to say is we're happy to have you both here, Nana said with a twitching smile. Oh, we're the first ones to get to know you before everyone else had the chance. That's great. We can so guide you about the other people we'll get to meet. Here, we can start that today. Sorry, my yawning is infectious. Chris liked the idea of spending time that way with the twins. That'll be great, he said. What can you say first about them all? They are all nutcases, the twins said in unison with wild smiles. What? Yeah. Yeah, I think we need to prep up first. Popo said as he looked at Chris's messy hair. Why don't we meet up at the kitchen on the first floor after you had a shower? I don't want to keep you out here for too long. Our talk's gonna be really long. Yes, Chris nodded. I'll meet you two there. Lucario is also coming along, by the way. The twins froze when the intimidating creature stared at them. If you couldn't tell, you'd probably never see him alone by himself with me around. He won't hurt you, though, as long as you don't accidentally hurt me in a way. It's fine, we don't want to give you a bad impression, if it means we get to live. Nana reassured him in his house self. We'll see you in a bit, then. We're gonna go to her room and sell some stuff up. Catch you later. She waved them off as she walked away, and had to drag a frozen Popo, stuck staring at Lucario, away from them both. Once the twins had climbed a set of stairs going up, Chris turned to Lucario. I think it would be nice for you to try to get along with others, he said. They were just freaked out because of how you look, Lucario sighed. I'll do an effort, but don't expect a lot from the start, he said. I wish I could. I have to put my expectations low if that'll make you feel better. He went close to Lucario and scratched his head with care. The aura Pokemon growled with pleasure. I do have to take in mind what you wish to do. I wouldn't be a good trainer if I didn't listen to you. Lucario, overjoyed, nudged Chris's face with his snout in a playful manner. After a few futile struggles to push Lucario away, he and Chris went back to the room to get ready for the day. Back at the stairs, going up to the third floor, Popo grimaced and thought and grumbled. Nana, don't you feel like we've seen that Lucario guy somewhere else before? He asked her. Nana held her head, feeling a little very subtle thumping feeling. I think. Maybe we just confused them for Mewtwo. They kinda look similar. Sorry, I had to turn it a bit quieter on my end. The unaware amnesiacs shook their heads and decided to brush off that lost piece of their past memories. They were looking forward to brighter times at the mansion with new people accepted to the invites. Kitchen. It was ridiculous that such a gigantic kitchen even existed. That's from Splatoon, I think, right? Hold on, let me check. Yeah, that's Regret from the Octo expansion. I see him from afar. The place had an unbelievably long wild table counter that went from one side to another across 100 feet with many chairs surrounding it. All around the table the counter leaning to the walls were stoves, ovens, refrigerators, sinks, dishwashers and drawers. all neatly organized in pairs for convenience. Only 4 people in there wouldn't be enough to stop the echoes. God damn it. No, we're making this through. We're finishing this chapter. I'm not going to bed on the otherwise. Wouldn't be enough for stopping the echoes from bouncing all over the white space. For convenience, seeing as there was a sign on the wall reading, "Any cook is responsible for their cooking ventures," Chris took it as enough permission for him to own one set of the multiple pairs of kitchen sets. Lucario didn't even care. Chris was probably trespassing and creating a fridge for food supplies. He only cared to get lost smelling that enticing bacon smell taking over the air. Even your fervent meat lover? Lucario jokingly thought he wanted that bacon or else he would eat his place to keep his newly found hunger at bay. It feels so weird to be cooking somewhere else that isn't our house, Chris told Lucario while the first was busy with the frying pans. Notably, he was preparing more strips of bacon for Popo, Nana, and maybe Pichu to give them a good first impression of himself, indirectly making Lucario wish all of the bacon was for him. I hope Master Ant doesn't mind me doing this. I only care about getting fed. He won't be a good host if we can't use the food. If we can use the food here, Lucario said, sitting right behind where Chris was cooking. Yo, beat. God damn it. My yawning isn't getting better. Your meat cravings are getting to your head again, I can tell. I will. Do you truly want to let them to run rampant? Nope. They'll be ready in a while. Hang in there and don't think about eating a plate, Chris said. Lucario shrugged and looked away. Did Chris read his mind, or was it just that easy to read like an open book? Footsteps came from the direction of the lobby. It was Popo and Nana, slowing their pace when they smelled bacon in the air. And it seemed plentiful because the smell leaked all the way to the lobby. They were a bit surprised it was Chris doing the cooking. Hey Chris, Popo called out. They stopped short when they noticed Chris was wearing a nest getup fit for taller people. Tina had chosen to wear his PK kit job to be on the safe side without thinking what others would say, seeing him wearing the same clothes of the iconic. What? Chris asked when he noticed them just standing there. You look like Ness. Are you secretly a Ness fanboy? What? Oh no, this is what it looks like, he said, flinging his hands in front of him. It's part of a strange gimmick Master gave me to fight. Popo narrowed his eyes. Not sure if he's serious or I'm jealous because he's not my fanboy instead. Chris grunted. I'm not a fanboy to anybody here. Blame Master for giving me this outfit. We'll see the truest when Snitz gets back here, Popo said. Chris groaned to the ceiling. So hey, are you cooking bacon? Back to for more important matters at hand, Chris nodded. Yes, it's bacon for all of us here. I figured we all have breakfast together, he said. The ice climbers stared long at his face, unnerving him, until they sniffed and rubbed their eyes. What now? They were stopping. It's nothing, sobbed Nana. This is the best we have been received at the mansions rather since the melee days were over. Say what now? Popo shoved his tearful, smiling face. You're so worth it, Dode. You're so worth being a friend, he cried. Okay, I'm touched and also shocked, so it's this easy, Chris trailed off. But why would he complain of being given such an easy way to make friends with others? Alright, you two need to stop weeping. It was never a fan of disrespecting people I haven't met. Yet, despite what happened to you in the past, that made you happy to get bacon from me. In front of the flashback. In front of the lovely Master and presented the ice climbers to the original 12 of the 64 tournament. And we have the new deals. The ice climbers, he presented to Happy Twins. They'll be fighting together as one fight in the battles. What? Yoshi said. Wow, Mario said. Not sure what to think of this, Link muttered. Cheaters, Donkey Kong yelled. Children at this thing get unfair advantages, I swear, Fox said. If they can pay up, I want to pay up from someone else, Captain Falcon said. Come on, you're giving these new deals the good stuff. Why do we have to make them scarier threats? Luigi bellowed. Bunch of cheating newcomers, Pikachu hissed. Well, I'm still gonna slap them both, silly. Kirby puffed out. Jigglypuff puffed out. Kirby blinked. Samus said nothing. Popo and Nana frowned at this less than stellar reception by the veterans. Pricks, muttered Chris until he shook his head. Well, no more. I'll happily break that trend. Yay, bacon impression, the two children cheered, cheering Chris up. They were little children. It wasn't unbelievable to see them both being so happy over bacon. In any case, Chris was very grateful the day started off well with his first new companions embracing their new friend. Lucario, however, remained the lone silent wolf, watching over strain egg talking to the other people of the mansion, though Chris wanted to bring him up for the climbers as much as he could. After the bacon was set and ready, everyone was given over a dozen strips, with Lucario's share being larger. Of course, the dog-looking Pokemon was carnivorous. The climbers thought as they silently stole glances from him while they talked to Chris over what to expect from the other mansion inhabitants. He told them that at the start he had seen... God damn it! He told them at the start he had seen photos of them all from Master and to keep up with the horrible lie of never having heard of them, though it was different if he was going to know them on a personal level. So what can you tell me about Ness? Chris asked. Biggest egotistical prick you could ever meet, Popo said, and Anna nodded. Chris clearly choked on his bacon strip. Okay, maybe that was a big description, but he just likes being the leader of the children group, and is kind of a spoiled kid. Bringing up the fact Chris had met Ness before would probably spark an argument. He didn't bring it up to them. Wow, I never thought he was like that. Then again, I heard from Lucario he liked to be violent. How about Mario? He's alright, I guess, but he's kinda boring. Nice guy all around, but yeah, you'd get fun out of him if you went in his adventures for sure. Otherwise, nope. Oh, I see, kind of imagine being him like that. Link? Loves the sword too much to the point it sounds like an innuendo, Popo said. The teen's face froze mentally at the same time he was drinking juice. He had to stop himself from asking and then immediately going back to eating. What the hell, they're too young to know that word at all, Chris thought, alarmed. What else is there about him? He likes yelling whenever he tries slashing someone. It's become a frequent target of jokes. Nana chuckled. Easy way to make fun of him. Don't do it too much. Right, won't make fun of him, Chris said. He was not going to be stripped out after he asked another question. Fox? Egocentric jerk. Who can't stop bragging how he won the most tourneys out of everyone during the melee days. Nana said face dull. I swear if you ever fix Final Destination with no items again. That has been the meme back in 2008 and it's still one. Popo sniffed and embraced the shaking body. No more please, he said almost immediately went back to eating happily. Oh dear God, Chris thought as he made sure to eat before the next question. Lucario lacked Fox's mentality, however, fighting aside, what else? He likes to snark. A lot. It's like that's all he ever says when talking to someone. Popo said. Falco's the same but worse. I tried giving her a crack and somehow that was offensive to him. Dada stared incredulously at him. It was an honest gesture. It was not making fun of the bird. He just complained he was a grown-up who didn't like cookies, not because it was a bird getting a cookie. Alright then, Chris said. Samus? We thought Samus was a guy for a whole tourney until the next one came, and then hubba 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 hubba, Popo added, and then slapped him. Samus is pretty quiet and chill. She has no flaws other than being a little of a lone wolf. Nana explained. She's absolutely ruthless during battles. It's like a robot meant to kill was just released by accident. She was so close into beating Fox for most tourneys won. I somehow knew she was like that. Chris muttered. Luigi scares off easily, very rarely shows good skills. Popo said. Not much else besides how he's doing into household chores. You two would probably hit off well, Nana said. But I think so. But could there be more we could talk about? The teen said. Donkey Kong? Smells like a banana, stinks like a banana, can't stop drinking about bananas. Popo said with emphasis on the fruit word. He goes bananas when bananas are involved. One time we stole a banana from his hand, and an entire hallway was wrecked until we gave up and gave it back to him. Nana gulped. He hasn't left that down when he sees a group nearby his precious fruit. Whatever you do down DK, don't touch his fruit. You'll get those looks of his if you do. Chris was never going to be prepared to fight a big ape if he had destroyed the hallway just because of a stone banana. I'll be fine. Who'd ever think about stealing stuff from others? Peach? Hold on. Alec Espino? Coffee? Ah, okay, that's the theme from Gato from Ace Attorney. Okay. Sweet as hell. Popo said her fascination with the color pink is unnatural. She can't even tell them till she's asking about it. Makes my pink look like a speck, Nana commented. Zelda's not like her, she's much more composed and doesn't tolerate jokes now and then. In particular, she can't stand Captain Falcon, including a lot of others. Why's that? He's such a show-off, the guy's an embarrassment when you get to meet him, not unlike how in his world he's treated as a mysterious celebrity of justice, Nana said while cringing at the thought. He's a shameless womanizer on top of that. Had it not been for him, Zelda wouldn't have gotten so cynical of his presence at the end of the Melee days. She was most gracious until he came now to know her, and she got all sour into any kind of foolery that happened in the mansion. The teen was shocked to have gotten so much information about Captain Falcon being a life-changer. Would it be okay if I got to meet him? Chris wondered. Good luck if he doesn't try pulling you into his strange schemes to woo girls. Sometimes these things seem too far from being saved. Food for thought. His Falcon punch is as nasty as you may have heard. Not sure what to think about the razor, Chris simply said, decided to continue the conversation about someone else. Holy shit, that's gourmet race. You two? For once Lucario stopped wolfing his bacon strips to listen. The climbers were unaware about the fate of that one person. Okay, that's nice. That's a nice remix of Gourmet Race. Not sure what to think about the racer. Oh, here, the ice climbers blinked once at Chris, and then they stole one glance at Lucario. Dark, tall, intimidating, scary, mysterious, not sociable enough. Kind of bloodthirsty, even if he's pretty calm when talking in a conversation, Popo said. He only never grins when he's challenged into battles against worthy opponents, which is creepy. Lucario hid a small smile. Overall, a dangerous person to be around who dislikes or outright hates people fooling around him. I don't recommend making a joke for him because he hardly laughs when it's not him slaughtering an opponent who turned out to be not so worthy of his time. Don't ever talk to him if you're fooling around and you like your life, Nana said. Young Link learned that the hard way and he barely made it out alive. Holy crud, Chris muttered and managed to hide the look of complete misery when he recalled. Mewtwo was a threat to them, judging how the events played out before. They were lucky he had been taken out through inconvenient methods. The next time they would meet, they would surely be injured a lot. The two kids didn't question his sudden silence and thought he just wanted to eat more breakfast for a bit, before moving on. Yoshi? Pretty nice. He's so laid back, it isn't prone to doing something stupid like many, Popo said. Which is weird, the other Yoshis are more like gluttons with voracious appetites. He's different than them. Speaking of voracious, there's Kirby, Nana brought up. He is the resident glutton. We would have been famished if we never had to go out or eat. We would have been famished if we never had to go out to eat food at the city. Popo shuddered. Only Peach can help him to stop in time. She hardly even makes him stop. Chris, you better plan your moves of the day involving food. You'll be set once you are ready for the random starvation seasons. Dolly nodded. Thanks for the warning, Chris said. You don't believe us? Krabby rates all the fridges the moment his black hole of his stomach rolls a bit. It's insane, Nana said, choosing to shake Chris for unnecessary added emphasis. Get ready for those seasons, man. You must need the food to survive against all the other guys. Okay, eh? Okay, eh? I understand, the twin said, pushing away from him. Young Link? Look here, between us he's a bit childish whenever he's and his older self get into each other nerves, Popo said. Otherwise he's okay. He's got some blind courage, that's for sure. Our escapades have gotten casualties because of him, and carrying just too much to go through with him. By casualties, we mean just him, Nana said. We're still not sure why we got the younger and older Link in the tourney. Oh well. Chris continued. It's not as weird as having two Marios around, right? Who, Dr. Mario? Nana asked. Oh no, that's still Mario, but with a doctor getup. They're the same person, not separate people, just like Zelda in their Sheik form. Except Mario can transform in the middle of a fight, Bobo said. I feel like the OG for having those unique battle styles unlike the rest of us. I believe you just told us that we were called cheaters by the others in the past. Because you are unique as well, Lucario spoke, breaking out from his eating. Hey, that's mean! Darius climbers whined, not really up to even thinking about smacking the Aura Warrior and fear of him going wild on him. Lucario's got his dope slap from Chris, hurting his feelings. Don't mind what he said. Truth is, I think everyone's unique in their own way. Nobody's cheating, Chris told the frowning kids, who then smiled. Every single one of you needs to be different from each other to make these bouts interesting. Ah, you get us, Popo said happily. Just need to say no to the clones. So many of us give Master Hand a lot of flack for that. Oh yeah, clones are the worst, Nana said, drinking orange juice. I'll give them some merit for being around in Imagine, but when it comes to battles, what the heck, they use the term Leap too? So these clones, are they good? If they were only meant to fight and not socialize, oh yeah, otherwise they're okay. We like our little Link clone. I hope you don't call him that to his face. Jigglypuff likes to sing and put people to sleep, Nana said, as if Chris didn't know that one. For the life of her, she can never realize she puts people to sleep using sing. She doesn't know that she's using a move at all. Then when you wake up, you have doodles on your face and she's long gone. Chris blinked in slight surprise at that description. All the climbers resumed eating some pesky strips, trying to hold on to their form while being pulled by the teeth. That Jigglypuff sounded much like that one he knew, but it was probably a coincidence if there were two different people with the same behavior. No way he had stepped into a universe that was not entirely video game based. It made no sense it could, actually. Is she tolerable at least? Chris asked. When she's not singing? Huh. You're a trainer, come to think of it. Maybe you can train her. I guess, Chris said, unsure. Lucario gave him a curious look. I'm not sure I can do any promises with other Pokemon. Lucario is the only one I got to, though. We'll be making everyone a huge favor, Tanya. Try, please. My napping schedule's so screwed up because of her. People are all up all night because of her singing. You're a trainer. Do your magic. Fine, I'll try, but I won't promise anything, Chris said. It's not like she will sing in anger if I do it. She likes singing in anger, Bobo pointed out, much to Chris' dismay. I know it makes no sense. Why do you think we're asking you to do something about her? Oh crap, muttered the teen. Enough of her, though. What can you say about Bowser? Biggest prick, no question. He constantly proclaims his desire to conquer Peach's pretty defenseless kingdom and hates plumbers with a passion. And I said nothing. He doesn't have any good traits besides being an occasional cryberry in his rare moments. He is the definition of a dumb, hot-blooded guy there is. But Ganondorf? That's right there, at least he has the effort to look smart with his green bronze. He's even Mewtwo, in other words. You'll never want to be on his bad side for one moment, Popo explained. If he hits you, he will hunt you down in battle and probably outside a battle. Young Wrinkly really likes to mess with him. Poor suicidal little kid. It was common knowledge not to mess with the likes of Ganondorf, now that there was a chance to meet the real deal. Chris thought, oh, Mr. Game & Watch? He's odd, but a good person, Anna said. He's a bit aware about how he's extremely different than everyone else. When he met him, he thought something was so off about him. He thinks we're the weird ones firing more than 2 dimensions, Bob continued. He's so flat he can hide in plain sight. I think you can see for yourself by visiting his room. It's stuff of nightmares. The flat person was surely the oddest choice of them all. Chris thought, what would really feel like to know him in person? Other than that, he's alright. Oh yeah, he's sweet. Ignore him. Another said, ignore he's pretty flat and you'll be good to go. That's good, so as long as he's not a psycho like the other people you described. Chris had to hesitate to take the next looking person. How about Marv? Almost the same as Link, except Marv is more dignified and graceful about this profession. And girly looking, Popo Abbott. Oh yeah, he does look like a girl from afar until you get closer to his face. And a terror of sorts is not for men. I want that thing so bad. Chris just blinked. Roy? Nana was wrestling a baking strap that did not stop her from talking through gritted teeth anyway. He's like Link and Mark fused. Slightly dignified, slightly silly. Probably best of both worlds when he's alone, and that's almost never. Although South guys just like being around too much. She said, we are not better with the others, Popo said, almost. With the others? Chris repeated, are you only with a group of people? The two climbers stuck their chest out, only with the best group of people you could ever be in this building. But Chris, if you want to survive, you must join a group of characters here. Playing it alone is most dangerous and will only hurt you. He had Lucario for a bit. Maybe having the guarding around won't be enough for you. I'm not trying to insult you, of course, he defended once Lucario sent to grab him. Luckily for you, Chris, our group has categorized every person into the right groups. Nana produced a piece of paper from her pockets, gave to Chris to read. Here you go. This super item will tell you who you need to avoid and who you need to hang out with, she said, unfolding the paper. The boring ones, Mario, Luigi, DK, Marv, Roy, Mr. Game & Watch. The quiet ones, Samus, Zelda, Yoshi. The cynic ones, Fox, Falcon, Mewtwo. The bubbly ones, Peach, Captain Falcon. The rotten ones, Bowser, Ganondorf. The cool ones, Godly ice climbers, carabiners, Pikachu, Pichu, Young Link, Jigglypuff. Chris narrowed their eyes at the first list of people listed under the cool ones, and then stared at the two kids. They both quickly took the paper back, messily scribbled all over the extra word, and put the paper back on the counter. They cast their hood Bob Banglings with blushing cheeks. What's a character without some ego? Popo asked. Yeah, don't judge us, usually you do the same thing. Nana accused. I'm not egotistical enough to describe myself like that. Chris scolded. I'll pretend I didn't see that to avoid more arguments with you. Which song was this one? Oh, there's a title rush, okay. Good, Popo said. The paper told you the right kind of group to be with. Our group is pretty safe and is able to keep others away. Unless we're the ones who end up causing explosions. Don't make that face, you won't get injured. Us children are the smartest people in the bunch, Nana said, with another 10-year-olds like in our ranks. Those other guys will have to think twice before they whistle us. I'm 16. The two kids froze, their smiles intact as their eyes blinking. Sorry, Chris, but you're out of league by default, Popo said. Popo quickly said, just as he took a sip of his orange juice. Well, I still have a heart of a kid in me. I know I'm not childish. Oh, saying that you're not childish takes much away from your score, Popo said. Our child or group embraces childishness to a T. Then how is it you possibly survive if you're childish? Doesn't it get on people's nerves? Sometimes, but we bear it. You know what? I won't even bother with your group, Chris said, getting dull looks at the grades. I'll try to make our own group. I'm sure you're not telling the whole story about everyone else. Oh well, good luck with that. Something occurred to Chris to say the two stuck-up kids, recalling the past hours since they met. What if we had planned in mind was true? You would have expected the right kind of reaction from them. I suppose this is the end of our friendship, he said. The Chris stopped eating, staring at empty air. If I'm not allowed to get into a group even after making friends with you, maybe it's not worth it to keep a connection any longer. The kids had reacted the way they wanted them to react. But it had worked too well, because they pushed their blades aside and launched themselves into a hug. Or a glomp. Chris in desperation. The sudden tackle of both almost made Chris fall down his chair, but Lucario quickly reacted and kept him from tumbling down, without, of course, forgetting to glare at the weeping children. We're sorry, Popo cried out loud. We don't want to stop being friends with you. Please don't. Nana sobbed. The really nice person we've met who hasn't tried to blow our skulls apart. We're not going back to that cruel place of our lives again. Please don't leave us. The sudden change of attitude was too hard to believe, but Chris had a very good lie detector at hand. Lucario, are they telling the truth? A quick scan of their auras revealed the results. Yes, their reactions might be a little overblown, but they're being honest. Lucario said, cringing at the loud crying. Okay, fine, I won't leave you two behind, Chris told the kids, who slowed down their sobbing to look up at him. He subconsciously embraced them both. I have to make do with who I'll talk to, and you two are nice enough to survive the chaos this place usually gets every day. But I believe Lucario is going to prove to be the best security I'll ever have. Lucario raised his face, feeling proud. Wooden groups don't matter much to me, but I'll be always ready to join one if you're ever bored. The kids resumed crying and stamped their face on the shirt. Thank you, Popo sobbed, the scream muffled. You're not gonna regret this, Nana yelled next, her voice muffled as well. The teen forced a little smile and patted their heads with care. Chris had gotten his preview though, as that these new characters are getting into this life and going to be normal. Our ice climbers were just another proof that now he had got to meet them as some scheming kids with good intentions. Despite all their loud reactions and unsettling knowledge, they looked okay to him. Having been used to live with Lucario had been indirect training for him to meet these new people and welcome them with open arms, literally. Once the kids had settled down and started enjoying spending time with a sane soul, seemingly safe from the corruption of the other guests, they all finished their breakfast roughly at the same time until Chris noticed there was bacon left on the frying pans. Oh wait, I thought Pichu would already. He tried off. Pichu? The exclamers repeated, exchanging glances. Didn't you two hear? Chris asked him. Pichu is in the mansion. He is? Nana said. Oh, we just noticed we didn't talk about Pichu any. Talk about me, why? Squeaked the voice from the direction of the lobby. The four turned east and spotted the confused electric type standing there, head tilted to the side in confusion as he stared at him. Minded your blue Goliath towering over others? Pichu gulped. to himself calmly and sneaked his way to them. His injuries had healed completely, as if he had never been badly hurt at all, with no recollection of his last days. Pichu, Popo said, you're here too. Yeah, Pichu said, seeing a little Pokemon like Pichu talking had surprised Chris a lot. Was it just like Lucario that he was special and knew how to talk human language as well? There had to be a good reason. Oh hey, this is from a previous song. Okay, that's from a previous 1 hour. Yeah, this one. This one's in the one that's right after Pizza Deluxe. Yeah, Peach. There had to be a good reason. I came to film a few minutes ago. At first I got scared because my head hurt and I didn't know how I got to my room. He rubbed his head quickly. I have no idea why I think I'm missing something here. Lucario looked away to look like he was not interested while Chris joined his hands and shyly scratched the backs with his fingers. Popo and Nana didn't see them and just looked confused. What do you have, amnesia? God damn it, Nana asked. Sort of, I don't know. Peach said, looking worried. It's been nagging me. Maybe you shouldn't think too much about it, Popo suggested. You okay and all besides that, right? Yeah, Pichu nodded and looked a bit happy. I shouldn't think about it too much, and then I'm happy to see you two here, even if the nail halls were empty. Oh, he noticed Chris at first and ignored the scary monster behind him. Who are you? Are you new around here? Chris had to forget he had had contact with the very docile rodent. Lucario for his pet, he'd forget he had blindly smacked the power thing into a wall during his rage fist. Yes, I'm new, Chris said. His smile twitching. I'm Chris, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Pichu happily said. It's sickening cute as if this made Chris blush subtly. I'm Pichu, I'm a Pokemon. I'm also a fighter and, don't be so hard on me, okay? He pleaded. I'll try to gain more courage fighting everyone here. That's two of us then, Chris admitted. It must be hard to develop such courage. You understand me, wow. Next to Luigi, no one else knows how I feel. I feel like we're going to be best friends, Pichu said, melting Chris's heart. He did manage to work up the courage to ask about the intimidating creature behind Chris, but not to Lucario himself, despite the crimson stain burning his skin. Who's that behind you? Lucario, Lucario's deep voice answered before Chris could, terrifying Pichu and shaking his favorable body to the core. Chris showed Lucario a hard stare, staggering his guardian into saying something nice. Nice to meet you, Pichu. I'm also Pokemon, just like you. Really? Oh gosh, he's like a second Mewtwo, but nicer, Pichu asked. Smile and right eye twitching discomfort. That's right, you fit in with us all here. Can't wait to see how you fight. Eep. He turned around the moment Lucario flashed a smile thirsty for battle, but Chris smacked his snout in a scolding manner. He stopped smiling, Chris flatly said. Pichu turned back around and sighed loudly. Thank you, sorry. He apologized, his head bowing down, his large ears drooping. I'm a little out of it today. Forgive me for saying rash stuff without meaning to. I'm sure Lucario forgives you for all that and wouldn't try to say no to me. Chris said with Lucario sighing in the background. Pichu tilted his head. Are you his Pokemon trainer or something? He looks like he listens to you. As a matter of fact, yes. You're safe with him as long as I say so. You won't try to hurt you or anything, right, Lucario? Yes, Chris, Lucario said. Whoa, I always thought I was weird we didn't have Pokemon training like you in these turnings, Pichu said with interest. Not knowing this, Chris was the second trainer of not worthy of taking that honor before the first one. Why are you dressed like Ness? Long story, what? You see way later. Bottom line, I'm not a normal Pokemon trainer. I'm also supposed to duke it out on my own like you too. Pichu crossed his arms and thought and mumbled. You're gonna toss pebbles and bait at us? He wondered. No, I'll never do that kind of thing. Oh, I'm straight. I don't know a trainer that can fight by himself. This is a new idea, he nodded at Chris. Oh well, welcome. I hope you have fun around. Be careful not to mess with some people here. They are pretty scary when they're angry. He gulped. Just think about the scary people, which were a lot considering. Many were taller than he was. I'll take that on mind, thanks, Chris thanked. So far he was going great. He had become friends with the Ice Climbers and Pichu, although Pichu's short introduction seemed like it was tighter than the other kids, because of how innocent he looked. Surely he didn't hide a dark side, Chris thought. The little one was a curious little creature he couldn't stop staring at. The teen didn't want to reveal how he had a weak spot for all things adorable, and Pichu fell into that category. Not that Chris was easily appeased by adorable creatures, however. He had a personal filter for things that were made extremely cutesy that wouldn't freeze him at all. You would instead not see the point of such beings even existing. That urge to hold Peter was in a way of his train of thoughts. Oh, we wished Lucario had been a Ryulu instead. Chris! Lucario startled his trainer from his trance. Oh, sorry, I was lost in thoughts. And it seemed they were erupting into happiness. Mother, I can't complain. You don't need to be happy, he said, smiling. The kids were busy catching up with Peter without knowing they had met for a second time before already. I'm sorry for looking a bit distant to them. I forgot doing that one. Only made you worry. I can't have that if it means you won't be happy. No, Lucario, you shouldn't worry about it too much. The teen said, it's good I got to see who you don't like unless they offer you a good fight. Which is kind of an issue because I worry you're going to be with the wrong crowd, but we'll see where we go from here, okay? It's a rough start, but it's getting easier for me. That's because the people we have here are more docile than the rest. Yeah, but it's progress, that's what I mean. No later than that was said, Master came to the view from the lobby and greeted his meager amounts of fighters. In the kitchen, he had a sob and spoke, Good morning, you all. I said good morning to Ice Climbers, but I wanted to be formal with everyone else. You're reunited, he said. I bet you're all excited to start the day of work now that everyone's here. Paul Banana and Peter exchanged and glances and barely could tell Chris and Lucario didn't do the same. We're kind of missing like a lot of people to start tourneys, don't you think? Bobo asked, Are we VIPs this time? Get the participate in private tourneys? No, nothing of the sort, Anne said. I'd called the Ice Climbers for an emergency backup operation not related to the tourneys I'd planned. Things have changed for the worst, I'm afraid. Your lives will forever change to what has come to head of us. The children were a little terrified to hear such news. Though part of them thought the hand was merely trying to make an impression of how the tourneys would be like. You never said something like this, Dad, before. What are you up to? Believe me, this does not concern the tourneys, but the whole world's out there. The leader said, They are in danger. We must respond to this call. We are the only ones with the means to defeat this threat. Hold on, this is going too fast, Peter said with concern. What threat? What is happening? Are we going to get in trouble with someone? It's so hard to take it all in, but we have to move things quickly, Master said. Master said, It's the only way I can prepare you three for what's to come. Us three? Nana said. The mind pointed at the three children and realized Chris and Lucario weren't among the counterparts. Hey, wait, why aren't they? They already know and have fought this threat I mentioned, Master interrupted, surprising the children and embarrassing the thief. It's thanks to them they managed to save Ness from dying in their hands. What? Ness? Dying? Topper said each word louder than the previous one. I so need a little time to understand what's going on here. Fine. I guess we can spare some explanation time, Anne said, but turned around. We'll have to do that while I take you what will become our center of operations, but I haven't shown to the veterans who fought this threat. Do I have your consent you will help us? You was at Castelia City? Yeah, that's Castelia City. Nice. We haven't decided, Nana said. I'm very interested, though. I just heard Nestor was about to die. I need to know what's going on here. Yeah, me too. I'm a little scared, but... Pikachu meekly nodded. Alright, follow me. Dan held him as they started floating away. You must be informed of what will happen in the next days. The newcomers were frightened by what the hand was hiding from them. But they followed its trail, full of curiosity at what was trying to enter my house suddenly. Just as he was about to leave, Chris remembered the leftover bacon strips meant for Pichu, and quickly put them on a place. He rushed up ahead, passing the curry who had remained behind to wait to him, and presented the food to Pichu. For me? Well, thank you. I forgot I was hungry. Pichu happily took the plate larger than his body, and miraculously managed to balance with both hands. He used his mouth to pick the food occasionally and relished in the taste as they made their way to a room Master was taking them. The Ice Climbers joined your team. Pichu joined your team. Did anybody hear that? Papa wondered. Shrug it off, Lucario advised, shuddering. To be continued. Next chapter. Talon 5. 4? 4 adventures. Would you like to save your data? Yes. Redfall? Yes. Smash mention. Chris, Lucario, Ice Climbers, Pichu. Okay, so that guy has rewritten the first 6 chapters, and the next ones are gonna be a bit worse of the quality. Okay, okay, we can rush through that. We can rush through that next time. Okay, remove this one. Okay, we're gonna... Okay, wait, which song is that? Oh, it's this Green Hill Zone, I was wondering. It sounded familiar. Okay, yeah, we're gonna end it here. Stream's over, you can go home now. However, if you want to stick around for a bit longer, I am going to rate a friend, Voidable. She's currently sitting through like 10 hours of the... Wait, isn't Void live anymore? Oh no, she's still live. Okay, yeah, she's sitting through like 10 hours of the Burger King Whopper song that's sampled to Daft Punk. So pay her a visit, maybe leave a follow if you aren't following her yet. And that's it then.